Hey, hopefully this is working. Welcome to Beyond the Body, episode 5. I'm going to be joined by Isabella today, and we are going to be discussing motherhood and fitness. Letica. And hello.
Oh,
Bella!
is it working?
It's working. I was thinking it's never gonna
It's
work.
about
Okay.
that time.
Yay! Okay, welcome, Bella. I'm really excited to have you on today.
I'm getting
So,
kicked out. I'm getting kicked out of my
of your
dining
living
room
room.
table.
You're being disruptive. So, today, I have a few questions for you, but mostly I want us to talk about your journey with training from before. Thank you, gracias. I want us to talk about your journey before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and afterwards with little baby Sienna. So, my first question for you would be, what has been the biggest obstacle in each of those phases? Uh-huh. In each of those phases, and how are they similar and how are they different from each other?
Okay. Wow. The deep questions, Laura. Thought
As
this was gonna
always.
be easy. Um, so I guess we'll start with pre-pregnancy. I was having trouble getting pregnant for a little bit. So that was hard because you're just kind of like, why is it not happening? I thought I was doing all the right things. But basically, diet is really important. Exercise is also really important, and timing is the most important. So, yeah, getting all those things right, like people think it's so easy to get pregnant. It's really not. It's there's a lot of prep that goes into it and everything. Then during pregnancy, I think just finding the energy and to like, because obviously working out makes a huge difference. Eating right also makes a huge difference, like for giving birth. So prepping your body during that entire like
Mm-hmm.
process will help. I believe it helps when you're giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're pregnant, you feel like crap. So it's hard to like work out and have a schedule, and some mornings you just might not be able to get out of bed as much. So that was hard during pregnancy. And then postpartum's a tough one
It's
because it's
pressure.
like, yeah, because you're like, I guess you're just like you're frustrated with yourself because you want to do more, but also like you're healing. So like finding the balance between like, hey, I need to rest right now, or
Recover.
I need to, yeah, recover, or no, I need to do. Like my house is a mess. Dinner has to be made. I have 20 loads of laundry. I have a baby crying and needs me 24/7. I'm like getting depressed now. Like
Yeah.
those are all really
Because
hard,
you've
like
let it go of
juggling.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I ask you how did having a coach how did having a coach and someone who was holding you accountable, who like you have to show up for in order to do your training, like how did that make a difference?
Because I wouldn't have done it. I just wouldn't have done it. That's why I called you. That's why I called you, because I was like, I know I need to be doing these things. I know that when I do work out and force myself, I feel better and and also like body image, I start to look better. And I
Mm.
also had like the diastasis
Yeah,
also,
right.
and like I just was not happy with the way I looked postpartum.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed you to force me
To
and
work.
get into the routine and to coach me, because also I wouldn't have known what to do.
Yeah.
Like with diastasis and like postpartum, like you can't just jump back into the exercises you were doing before.
Hmm.
So
You have to be
I
more patient and more delicate.
Yeah,
And
you're basically starting as if you're like a child, like with
hmm,
like no weights, just body weight, and even body weight like feels impossible
yeah, just
sometimes.
breathing mostly actually is what we
Breathing is,
worked on.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And just like getting in tune with my body again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that was definitely essential.
100%. So something that I've noticed while coaching you, okay, you've always been super strong. You've always pushed yourself. You're a badass. So that's never been a problem, right? Whenever we actually get into the workout, whether it's hard or not, like you sometimes you think you don't, you have such high standards, you don't realize like how much you actually push yourself compared to most people, right? But something that I was very excited about is that you for a while felt like right after pregnancy you felt like the progress was really slow, right?
Yeah.
Like at first you might feel like, oh, you'd be like, but Laura, why is my tummy not like feel
Yeah,
like
why is the
snatched
gap not
already?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
or like, why do I feel so weak when, like, before, while you were pregnant, like, I literally
Yeah.
have videos of you squatting like over 100 pounds while pregnant, right? And
Yeah.
then after pregnancy, you're like, I can't even do a lunge. Like, I
Yeah.
feel so unstable and I feel like this is so
Yeah.
challenging. And I told you, just give it a couple months, give it a little bit of consistency and showing up, and you're going to get so much stronger. And so, if we look at how you started, which was literally just doing breathing exercises, like
Yeah.
just breathing, core, getting in tune again with your body, relaxing your
Stretching
nervous,
too.
stretching your hips, strengthening all those little things, to where you're at now, which is training 3 days a week, right? We started once a week, then twice a week, then sometimes even 3 days a week. And your daughter, who was in your belly, is now actively imitating her mom, because
She
it's
does
so
better
much.
squats than
She
me.
does better squats than the both of us,
Yeah.
actually. Than most people. Perfect squats she
Like
does.
literally perfect.
Perfect. Yes. And
Could
so,
drop it
and
down
she's
all the way low.
yeah, and very stable. And when she started, she was just imitating you. She was like a little wobbly. She would go all the way down, but she didn't have that control. And she has, like, even your baby has improved her strength, her coordination, her control, her understanding of the movements
It's
as you've
insane.
been. It's insane. As
She
you've
even
been.
incorporated bands all on her
Yeah.
own.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like you're basically your little assistant, Like she
Yeah.
goes and gets your bands, and she like does the downward dog, and she does
Yeah.
the child's pose on the mat. And so something
Yeah.
that I think is really important for moms to know, a lot of times they feel like, right, like they can't make that progress because they have a baby that they might feel like they're neglecting. How do you feel like exercising has impacted actually your relationship with your baby? And like, you know,
Well, that's a good one. You know what? I think it's brought us closer together. Not that I mean, we were already
what?
very close because we spend all day and night together every single day. But you kind of get lost in like the routine and like working and activities and whatever. So that time that we like spend like um
Moving.
just made a big mess. But that we spend together, like moving and training, like we look forward to it. Like she helps me set up the mat and she brings out the bands and she can't carry the weights yet, but we're
But
working
she
on it.
tries. But she tries. She tries to lift that 30-pound dumbbell all by herself, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. So, it definitely is, it's like a nice activity to do together.
Yeah, and you see the
Ser-
positive influence it has on her. So instead, hi, baby girl. So instead of, she's like my little bestie every
Yeah.
time we work out. But, instead, a lot of moms will feel like that time they're dedicating to themselves is actually neglecting their baby, when in
Yeah.
reality, you're actually setting an example, and a
It's
real
actually,
example.
yeah, it's actually time that now we have together.
Together, yes.
And I mean, you've gotten some cute screenshots, like some cute little moments and everything, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly,
now
like
it's like a party
memories.
trick. Everywhere she goes, she squats for people, and people are like, is she squatting? And she counts too. She's like, one, two. three. Can
Yeah,
you count?
exactly. She learned how to count. She improved her control. She started squatting. She
Yeah.
understands that those tools that you have are for exercise. She knows what's going to happen whenever we get on FaceTime and we're about to do your workout. She's like, "Oh, I know what's going on." She has her
Yeah.
breakfast and then
Yep.
she's ready to go and like work out with her mom. And obviously at first it was a little tougher, right? Like she would want
Yeah.
your attention a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
She was. Yeah.
exactly. But what do? We incorporate her in the workout. We use her as a prop. We add her to the movements and it's fun. And then it makes it like a little bonding activity between the two of you where you can share together, but then you also get this time for yourself. And it does also make her a little bit more independent, right? Like she's already a
Oh,
very
yeah,
independent
for
baby,
sure.
but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like while you're working out, she's watching you and thinking, well, look, mommy's doing this. I want
I
to
want to
do
do
this.
that too.
Yeah, exactly. So then she's doing it too. And that's always been really fun. So yeah, that's great. Something that I also want to talk about quickly is the trusting the process, right? So when we first started, like, what was it, like November, October, back up, like after, a little break of training, like you'd been training with me, you'd been doing kind of like stuff on your own, but then you felt like, you know what, you called me, you're like, Laura, I'm not going to do this if you're not calling me. I'm not going to do
Yep.
this. I'm not going to show up. I
Yeah.
needed, you wanted to hold yourself
You need
accountable.
to literally coach me and
Yeah.
force me.
And I remember you were like, oh, I feel so weak, whatever. But like now, we're doing, you started off being super wobbly doing your like lunges, and now you're doing lunges with 60 pounds sometimes. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
home. And it's all at home, right? So like we did progressive
I'm
overload.
getting distracted because she's
I know.
literally foam rolling right now.
She's so really stop. And she's like, wait, Laura's on FaceTime? She's like,
She
why are
took
we
out the
not
foam
working
roller
out?
and started rolling.
Sienna, you're doing such a good job, baby girl. She's just like, she knows. She's like, if Laura's on FaceTime, she's like, we're working out, you
We're
know?
working out,
Yeah.
exactly.
Cutie. But
Oh,
so how do
sorry,
you
I cut you
feel?
off.
It's okay. How do you feel about, like, what would you tell people about trusting the process, especially after like, in postpartum, that phase? Like, what would you tell people? Like, hey, it's okay if you were stronger during and before pregnancy, and then after pregnancy you feel a little bit weaker and it could be a little discouraging and you don't feel like yourself and you feel like your body isn't your own. But like, how do you feel now compared to how you felt when you started?
Well, I actually feel amazing now. And it helps that everyone keeps complimenting me all the time because I was like, I don't see a difference. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not staring at myself in the mirror long enough, I guess. But everyone's commenting. My mom like pinches my butt sometimes and she's like, "Oh, what's going on over here?" You know?
Yeah.
So that makes me feel
Reassuring.
really good that
Yeah.
that other people could see the difference. But yeah, I think the patience, like I'm very impatient when it comes to things like for
That you're
me
doing.
that
Hmm.
I'm doing. Like I'm very patient with others, but when it comes to myself, it's like, no, girl, like you need to go all the
100.
way right away and
Hmm.
jump all the steps. So that was very hard for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does kind of go quickly because like even like you like push me every week a little more and a little more, and every week I'm like, there's no way I can do that, and then I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. So
Yeah, and like it's actually easy, which is crazy because you're
yeah.
like, it wasn't easy, Laura. It's not
Well,
easy.
whoa, easy. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
about easy,
easy is subjective, right? As a coach, when I say easy, it
but
just
I
means
can
that I'm
do it. I
yes,
can
that you
do
can
it.
do it and you could probably do a little bit more than what you think, right? Hello. Like when I say, "Oh, Bella, that was easy." And you're like, "No, it was actually challenging." I'm like, "No, it doesn't mean it wasn't challenging. It just means that in terms of what you're actually pushing right now, it's incredible that I can tell that you could push even more." And obviously, when we're doing it ourselves, like you said, you don't think I won't be able to do that, and then you're doing it and you impress yourself and you're like, "Okay, that's crazy. I actually just did
Yeah.
Bulgarian
Yeah.
split squats with 60 pounds and
Yeah.
I literally haven't." You know what I mean? And then also like your diastasis, right?
Yeah.
That's something that for a while, like, we were working on, and you felt it
Yeah, it was
feels so
frustrating.
much, yeah, it's frustrating, and it feels so much longer than it actually is, right? Like once you've made the progress, and then you realize, wow, my core feels so much stronger. Like we just started doing more dynamic core exercises, which we weren't doing before because it wasn't safe, right? And we were
Yeah.
waiting till your body was ready to do that. we
Yeah.
we were pushing you in other ways. If you ever felt discomfort in your back, we would adapt. So I think a lot of people don't want to start because they think, I'm not going to be ready to do all that. Or if they start and it's super hard, they feel like, I have so far to go. Like, I don't have time or the energy to put the effort into this, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
just, looking at it like baby steps and making that slow progress towards your goals. And then eventually you wake up and you're just like, damn, I'm so strong now. And
Yeah.
like what it really took was just showing up like week after week,
Yeah.
and
Even
pushing
even
yourself.
when I really didn't want to.
Even when you didn't really want to. And sometimes, what do we do sometimes when you're like really stressed out, really tired, really overstimulated, overwhelmed? Sometimes
Stretching.
we stretch, we do mobility, we do
Yeah.
like
And
breathing
breathing.
exercises, yeah, nervous system regulating exercises because, well,
Yeah, because sometimes it's like absolutely necessary.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, like I'm happy to see you. I mean, I love you so much, obviously. You're the one of the most important pillars in my life. You're part of the team. You know the ins and outs of this business. And so, it's always cool to be able to share that with you and to see how you can really experience it firsthand, and the benefits of movement and taking care of yourself and the impact it has on your mental health and your physical well-being and even on your family, so. And
Yeah.
it's just nice to feel like yourself, right? Because a lot of the times you might be like, Laura, I really don't feel like doing this workout today, and then you do the workout and you're like, thanks, I
I
needed
feel like a
that.
human again.
Yeah, you're like, I actually liked it. I feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then it's like a positive, like impact on the rest of your day. Or even sometimes when we train at the end of the day, it's like a nice way for you to like end the day and kind
Yeah.
of
It definitely
come back.
helps with sleep.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, what is your message? This is my last question for you today, Bella. Thank you for being here. Thank you for answering these questions and being open and vulnerable. But what would your advice be for any woman who's preparing for pregnancy, who's already pregnant and like, wants to help herself with birth and, just the process and all that stuff? And for women who have babies and maybe they're newly postpartum, or maybe they're a year in, 2 years in, what would your advice be for them if they feel scared to start this process?
I think I'd have a lot of advice, but I mean, the main one I think is like be patient with yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, and like it'll happen. Just with hard work, patience, dedication, like it's gonna happen. It's gonna be hard, but
Yeah,
it's gonna
baby
be worth
steps.
it. Because I like feel like myself again. Like obviously like transitioning into motherhood is like, you're a
Yes,
different person
crazy. Yeah,
completely.
yeah,
But I feel like happy in my skin and I feel like confident and like I
strong.
can maybe wear a bikini this summer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mentally too, I'm just like
yeah,
happier, like clear, like more focused and everything. So,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
And I
awesome.
don't know if this has a correlate, but even like less forgetful, because like like the whole mom brain thing, like where
Hmm.
you're like just forget everything. Like
Hmm.
even since I've been working out and really like focusing on myself, like I feel like that's cleared up a lot too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's really good. That's amazing, actually. That's really good. I love it. I don't know what that's
you're
like.
amazing.
You're amazing. So, anyways, I'm excited for our workouts this week.
Yeah,
Got to schedule those, but
yeah,
but you're killing it. Yeah, you're like, yeah. But you're killing it. You're doing amazing. I'm super proud of you. I'm really happy that I get to coach you, and it's an honor. And I'm excited for other women to watch this and to be inspired by you because you're a real badass, and they are too. All moms are, honestly. So,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, God
Thanks
bless
for
you.
having me.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Later.
Okay. All right. Love you, Bella.
Love
Bye.
you.
Bye.